Good morning, people. It's your man Joshua Pondexter coming to you live. What is it? 12/11/2024. Hey, the year's almost over. But life is not over. So we're not talking about finishing the year. We're not talking about um, another goal. We're talking about how to win the game of life. So, hey, this this year we're in will be in 2025, but life we pray for you will continue, right? So let's get right into this. We're coming at this from a different angle on how to win the game of life. So this is me, Stone Consultant LLC, 708-298-5652, joshuapondexter.com, the website. Holler at your boy if you want some detailed instructions on how to win at the game of life. All right, let's jump right into this. This, of course, these thoughts are coming from the Robert Kiyosaki cash flow quadrant, right? So I'm quite sure that you're familiar with this layout. And so we want to explain it from our perspective. Before I do that, let's explain it from Robin Sharma's perspective, right? Quadrant one, there's the E. That's employee. You have a job. Quadrant two, you self-employed. You own your job. Business owner. Quadrant three, you own a system and people work for you. Investor, money works for you, right? That's quadrant four, right? So these are the four quadrants of life. And trust me, you can win no matter what quadrant you in. You just need to understand where you are and what it takes to win. That's the difference, right? So let's look at these quadrant one and two. It is said that 95% of the people that spend their life over here end up dead broke. The other quadrant, three and four, 95% of the people who spend their life over here end up financially independent. That's quite alarming, right? So you want to know, where do I spend my time? Let's delve a little deeper behind the reality. So here in this quadrant, one and two, where 95% of the people end up um, dead broke, that's where 95% of the people live, right? So that's fine, because there's 5% of those people who end up financially independent, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to model those people. Quadrant three and four, only 5% of the people are business owners and investors, and 95% of those people end up wealthy, right? So no matter what quadrant you in, you can win. If you in the employee quadrant or you're in the self-employed quadrant, there's some things that you must understand that is going to take 30 plus years to become financially independent, right? So here on the business owner and investor quadrant, it's still 30 years for the average person. You know, if you're a superstar, you might do it in 10, 15 years, right? But it's going to take time to build financial independence. So let's talk about where 95% of us are, either employees or self-employed. And the 5% of people that win in this quadrant, um, you can model their behavior, right? Here's number one, very tight. 27% of the income that you earn is spent in lifestyle. The other, you pay your taxes, and then you invest and save over that period of time. Investing is not the same as being an investor. You can invest in some real estate. You can invest in some stocks, some bonds, some mutual funds, but you're not an investor. You are investing. So listen, there's hope, people. So if you're in this quadrant, which employee, self-employed, 95% of the American population reside here. 5% of those people win at the game of life, and we're talking about the financial game, a game rather. So listen, you got to model their behavior. 27% of your earnings must go to your lifestyle. Then the rest of it must go to pay your taxes and save and invest for your future 30 years out, right? Simple. It's not complicated, but simplicity doesn't mean easy because now you got to learn where to save and invest your money. So this is your life. This is the time that you have the next 30, 40 years to work. Where are you going to put it? So now if you're a business owner or an investor, right? The odds are very favorable over here to win at the game of life, the financial game. That's what we're talking about. So now you got to learn to be a business owner. There's rules and regulations there. You want to learn to be an investor, right? So there's rules and regulations there. So I would tell you simply, if you want to be qualified as an investor, 51% of your time must be spent investing, and over 51% of your income must come from investing. All right. A business owner is pretty simple. You can go get your Popeyes or Subway, or you can start your own little mom and pop and build it, right? You're building your system. Employee. Love employees. It's where the majority of us are. So I suggest that my clients kind of hedge their bets between employee and self-employed, right? So now, if you're an employee, you're working, earning money, W-2 money, then you're self-employed, and you have business expenses there. Now that can reduce your taxes. Now you can begin to save more than 1/3 of your income for saving and investing, right? A third lifestyle, a third taxes, a third saving and investing, right? So now, if you're an employee and you're self-employed, you can utilize some of the things that's available to the business, not all of them, but some of the things that's available to the business owner and to the investor to reduce your tax liability, so that now you can save more money for your future, right? No, I'm not talking about putting more in your lifestyle. Save more for your future. And then you can cut those 30, 40 years down, right? So now it might not take 30 years, 40 years for you to become financially independent. This is the game of life. Wherever you are, employee, self-employed, business owner, investor, you're going to have to learn how to operate in these spaces, right? And so this is why we're here, JoshuaPondexter.com. Go to my website and avail yourself of a free consultation. I'll give you 1 hour to tell you specifically how to win this game of life, this financial game of life. It's not a cookie cutter system, right? We can design something specifically for you, right? So, and as we get ready to go into 2025, right? And you're fortunate enough to have another 30 plus years of life. Come on, let's get started, right? If you only got 10, 15 years, we really need to get started. But this is it, people. The financial game is played here in the Robert Kiyosaki cash flow quadrant, right? This is where they are. I don't say that you can't win as an employee. I know plenty of employees who have won at the financial game, because 1/3 lifestyle, 1/3 taxes, 1/3 saving and investing for the future. They did that for 30 plus years. They ended up okay. Now, if they would have added that layer of being self-employed, so they can reduce their tax liability to pump more money into retirement, they would have more wealth now. Not only for them to enjoy now, but to transfer to the next generation. Business owner, pretty simplistic. Investor, pretty simplistic. There's a bunch of tax availability, tax strategies that's available to this group that's not available to anyone else. But there still are some, if you on this side, which 95% of the people are, and this is who I think I'm talking to, that you can hedge your bets. You can be an employee and you can be self-employed. And if you're an employee and you got a good job, I suggest that you keep it for 20, 30 years, right? And run this system. And especially if you're a young person, 20, 25, 30, when you get my age, in your 60s, life is totally different. You are free to do what you want, right? But you got to pay the cost. If you want to win at the game of life, you must pay the cost. There's a cost to be paid. You cannot have it all, right? You cannot have it all now. You cannot have all the trips. You cannot have all the clothing. You cannot have all the fine dining. You cannot have it all, right? Something is going to suffer, right? So choose what you want. Once again, it's your man, Joshua Pondexter, joshuapondexter.com. Avail yourself of a complimentary consultation before the year is out so we can set your mind right so you can get busy, 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 or you got 30 years, we can get it done. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Always peace, love, and soul. Bye for now.